Hey, if you're ready to dive into a story that'll hit you right in the feels, smash that subscribe button and join me on this wild ride. Let's talk about love. Real, messy, heartbreaking love. I wish someone had told me earlier that love isn't just butterflies and grand gestures. It's a language, one I was completely illiterate in until I stumbled across The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. That book didn't just change my mindset, it shattered everything I thought I knew about connection and left me staring at the wreckage of my own relationships. Let me take you back to a time when I was drowning in loneliness, even when I wasn't alone. Picture this. I'm 24, sitting in a dimly lit apartment, scrolling through my phone, watching couples on social media flaunt their perfect lives. I had a girlfriend, Sarah, who I swore I loved more than anything. We'd been together for 2 years, but something was off. I'd planned these elaborate dates, candlelit dinners, weekend getaways to the coast, thinking that's what love was supposed to look like. But Sarah? She'd barely smile. She'd thank me, sure, but her eyes were always somewhere else, like she was searching for something I couldn't give her. I'd pour my heart into gifts and surprises, yet she'd pull away, saying she didn't feel seen. Seen? What did that even mean? I was spending hundreds of dollars, hours of my time, and she still felt distant. It crushed me. I started wondering if I was broken, if I was incapable of making someone feel loved. One night, after another argument where she said, "You just don't get me," I hit my breaking point. I stormed out, drove to a bookstore, and there it was, The 5 Love Languages, sitting on a shelf like it was waiting for me. Chapman's words hit me like a freight train. We must be willing to learn our spouse's primary love language if we are to be effective communicators of love. I realized I wasn't speaking Sarah's language at all. I was screaming my love in a dialect she couldn't understand. My grand gestures, my gifts, they were my language, acts of service and gift-giving, but Sarah needed something else entirely. That realization felt like a punch to the gut. I'd been loving her wrong all along. Let's rewind further. Growing up, my family wasn't big on affection. My dad showed love by fixing things. Your bike's broken? He's got a wrench. Your grades are slipping? He's got a lecture. I thought that's what love was, doing things for people. So, when I met Sarah, I doubled down. I'd surprise her with concert tickets, fix her car when it broke down, plan every date to the last detail. But she'd get quiet, almost resentful. I remember one night I spent $200 on a dinner at this fancy rooftop restaurant thinking it'd sweep her off her feet. She barely touched her food. Later she told me, "I just wanted to stay home and talk. I wanted you." I was furious. Talk? I was giving her everything, and she wanted words? It made no sense. Chapman's book opened my eyes to the 5 love languages: words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Sarah's language was quality time. She didn't care about the expensive dinners or the gifts. She wanted me to sit with her, listen to her, be present. I'd been pouring my energy into the wrong bucket, and it was draining us both. The book quotes, "Love is a choice you make every day." And I realized I'd been choosing the wrong ways to show it. I wasn't a bad partner. I was just clueless. But knowing this didn't fix things overnight. Sarah and I were already on thin ice, and my mistakes had left scars. I started digging into my past relationships too. My college girlfriend, Mia, she thrived on physical touch. Hugs, holding hands, cuddling. I'd brush it off, thinking it was clingy. We broke up after 6 months because she felt unwanted. My best friend, Jake, he'd light up when I'd compliment his work. Words of affirmation were his thing, but I'd always tease him instead, thinking it was funny. I was pushing people away without even knowing it. Chapman's framework showed me that love isn't one size fits all. It's like trying to speak French to someone who only understands Japanese. No wonder my relationships kept crashing and burning. The lowest point came when Sarah and I sat down to talk. I tried to explain what I'd learned, but she was done. She looked at me, tears in her eyes, and said, "I needed you to hear me, not fix me." That broke me. We split up a week later. I was alone, staring at my phone, wondering how I'd gotten it so wrong. But that pain, it was the wake-up call I needed. I started journaling, reflecting on every relationship I'd ever had. Friends, family, partners. I saw the patterns. I was loving people on my terms, not theirs. Chapman's words echoed in my head. People tend to criticize their spouse most loudly in the area where they themselves have the greatest emotional need. Sarah's complaints about not feeling seen? That was her crying out for quality time. I'd ignored it. This wasn't just about romantic love either. My mom, she'd always light up when I helped with chores, acts of service. My little brother, he'd beg me to play video games with him. Quality time. I'd been blind to their languages too. The 5. Love languages didn't just teach me about love. It taught me about connection. It showed me that love isn't about what feels right to you. It's about what feels right to them. And I was failing miserably at it. But failure is a brutal teacher, and I was ready to learn. Losing Sarah was like waking up in a house I didn't recognize. I was surrounded by the ruins of my own ignorance. But the 5 love languages gave me a map to rebuild. Gary Chapman's words stuck with me. Love is a verb, not just a feeling. I'd been waiting for love to magically fix everything, but it doesn't work that way. If I wanted real connection, I had to act deliberately, intentionally, and in the right language. So I rolled up my sleeves and started experimenting, treating relationships like a science lab where I was both the scientist and the test subject. Here's how I turned things around step by step, and how you can too. First, I had to figure out my own love language. Sounds simple, right? It wasn't. I'd spent so long trying to prove my love through big gestures that I didn't even know what I needed. Chapman's book suggested reflecting on what makes you feel most loved, or what you crave when you're down. I thought back to moments when I felt truly seen, like when my best friend Jake would sit with me over coffee, just listening, no distractions. That was it. Quality time. I craved presence, not presence. So, step 1, know your own language. Write it down. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? Maybe it's a hug, a kind word, or someone doing the dishes without being asked. Be brutally honest. I used a journal to track moments when I felt loved or empty. It was like holding a mirror to my soul. Next, I started observing the people around me. Chapman says, the object of love is not getting something you want, but doing something for the well-being of the one you love. That hit hard. I'd been selfish, loving people in ways that were convenient for me. So, I became a detective. With my mom, I noticed how she'd glow when I helped with small chores, like taking out the trash or fixing her laptop. Acts of service were her thing. I started doing those things intentionally, not just when I felt like it. With my brother, I saw how he'd beg for me to play games with him. Quality time. Just like me. So, I carved out an hour every weekend to kick his butt in Mario Kart. The change was instant. Our bond got tighter, like someone turned up the volume on our relationship. Step 3 was the hardest, speaking the right language, even when it felt unnatural. My new friend Lisa was all about words of affirmation. She'd light up when someone complimented her work or her style. Me? I'm awkward with compliments. I'd rather fix someone's car than say something mushy. But I tried. I'd text her, "Hey, your presentation today was killer," or "That jacket looks dope on you." It felt forced at first, like speaking a foreign language, but her smile made it worth it. Chapman's right. Love doesn't keep a score. You don't get points for how comfortable it feels. You get points for showing up. So, practice. Pick one person and try speaking their language for a week. Maybe it's leaving a sticky note for your roommate saying you're awesome, or giving your partner a back rub. Small actions, big impact. The 4th step was checking in. Love languages aren't static. They shift with time and context. I started having honest conversations. With my dad, I asked, "What makes you feel appreciated?" He was stunned, but admitted he loved when we worked on projects together. Acts of service again. I also checked in with myself. After a rough week, I'd crave quality time with friends more than ever. So I'd schedule a movie night or a hike. Chapman's book emphasizes this. Love is a choice you make every day. You've got to keep the conversation going, not just assume you've cracked the code. The results? Night and day. Before, I was like a chef cooking the same dish for everyone, wondering why half the table wasn't eating. Now, I was tailoring my love to each person. My mom started calling me just to chat. She hadn't done that in years. My brother stopped sulking when I'd say no to gaming. He knew I'd make time later. Even my friendships got deeper. Lisa told me, "You're the first person who actually notices the little things I do." That felt better than any gift I'd ever given Sarah. I wasn't just connecting. I was building trust, brick by brick. But it wasn't all sunshine. I messed up plenty. I'd forget to compliment Lisa when she needed it or get too busy to hang out with my brother. Love languages don't make you perfect. They give you a playbook. And the biggest game changer? I stopped expecting people to love me back in my language. I used to get mad when Sarah didn't plan big dates for me, but now I get it. She was trying to love me her way. Letting go of that resentment was like dropping a 50-pound weight off my chest. By the numbers, the shift was real. In 6 months, I went from feeling disconnected 80% of the time to feeling truly close to my family and friends. I saved $200 by cutting out flashy dates and gifts, focusing instead on free, meaningful moments like long talks or helping with chores. My productivity spiked. I finished a side project that earned me $3,000 because I wasn't wasting energy on failed relationships. Love languages didn't just fix my heart, they fixed my life. They taught me that real love isn't about grand gestures or Hollywood moments. It's about showing up, listening, and speaking the language that makes someone feel seen. So, here I am, a guy who went from bombing relationships to building ones that actually last, all because I learned to speak the right love languages. The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman didn't just hand me a manual for love, it gave me a way to rewrite my story. But this isn't just about me. It's about you. You're watching this because you want connection too. Maybe you're stuck like I was, pouring your heart into someone and getting nothing but silence back. Or maybe you're just tired of feeling like you're shouting into the void. Here's the thing. You can change that. Right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Let's talk about how to make that happen and why you need to act before another relationship slips through your fingers. Start small, but start now. Grab a notebook or even your phone's notes app and write down the name of one person you care about. Your partner, your best friend, your mom. Next to their name, guess their love language. Don't overthink it. Think about what makes them light up. Do they love when you compliment them? That's words of affirmation. Do they ask for help with chores? Acts of service. Are they always touching you? Hugs, high fives, physical touch. You get the idea. Chapman's words ring true here. Love is something you do for someone else, not something you do for yourself. This exercise takes 5 minutes, but it's the first step to cracking the code. Don't wait for a breakup or a fight to figure this out. I learned that the hard way. Once you've got a guess, test it. Spend 1 week speaking their language intentionally. If it's quality time, plan a night to just hang out. No phones, no distractions. If it's physical touch, give them a hug or hold their hand, even if it feels weird at first. For acts of service, do something small but thoughtful. Wash their dishes, run an errand. Track the results. Did they smile more? Open up? My brother started telling me about his day after I played 1 round of video games with him. That's when I knew I was onto something. You'll see changes too. Maybe not overnight, but faster than you think. And if you're wrong about their language, adjust. Ask them directly. What makes you feel loved? It's awkward, sure, but it's a game changer. Here's the kicker. You've got to keep going. Love isn't a one-and-done deal. Chapman says, the need for love is ongoing. I used to think I could fix a relationship with one big gesture, like buying Sarah that $200 dinner. Spoiler, it didn't work. Consistency is what builds trust. Set a reminder on your phone. Once a week, check in with yourself. Are you still speaking their language? Are you listening to what they need? I started doing this with my mom, making sure I helped with 1 chore every Sunday. She went from nagging me to actually thanking me. That's the power of showing up week after week. Now let's talk about the payoff. When you get this right, it's like unlocking a cheat code for life. My friendships are deeper. I've got 3 people I can call at 2 a.m. if I'm falling apart. My family feels closer than ever. My dad even started opening up about his stress, which he never did before. I'm dating again, and this time, I'm asking questions up front. What makes you feel loved? No more guessing games. In the last year, I've saved over $1,500 by ditching flashy gifts for meaningful moments. I've got more time, more energy, and, crazy enough, more money because I'm not wasting it on the wrong things. You can have that too. Imagine relationships where you're not second-guessing every move, where you feel seen and they feel seen. That's what love languages give you. But here's the brutal truth. If you don't act, nothing changes. I lost Sarah because I waited too long to figure this out. Don't make my mistake. Every day you ignore someone's love language is a day you're pushing them away, even if you don't mean to. You're watching this video for a reason. Something's not clicking in your life. Maybe it's a partner who feels distant, a friend who's pulling away, or even your own heart feeling empty. You've got the power to fix it. Not some guru, not some app, you. All it takes is one step, one conversation, one moment of courage. So, here's your call to action. If you want to stop guessing and start connecting, hit that subscribe button right now. Join this community of people learning to love better, one language at a time. Then, in the comments, tell me, what's your love language? Or better yet, what's the one thing you've done that made someone feel truly loved? Share it. I read every comment, and I want to hear your story. If you're feeling bold, tag a friend who needs to hear this. Let's start a chain reaction of real love, real connection. Because life's too short to love the wrong way.